how we really digest food and how stress affects it. The foundation, how we digest food, how does the central nervous system work, how does our bodies physically stress, how does stress affect our health and specifically our digestion, how does stress affect our microbiota, how does our hormones interplay with stress and digestion, and how has it impact our lives, and how can we love ourselves, how we minimize stress and how can we live a sustainable life. Okay, so I find that a lot of people actually don't even really know how we digest food. So I'm going to break this down. I know that this might be a little repetitive, but I'll make it real simple and real fast. Again, the foundation. So first we take in food, we masticate, but this is the important part that I want you guys to get out of this, is that we release enzymes, right? So amylase and lipase, what does that do? It kills the bugs, right? And amylase actually starts to digest carbohydrates. So then basically we form this bolus, and this is called deglutation. So it goes down the esophagus into our stomach, and then it's like a big long tube, and we have some accessory organs that basically help support this, okay? So basically what I want you to get out of this picture is there's 3 phases of digestion within the stomach. So remember this vagus nerve right here, okay? Because a lot of people don't realize how the nervous system plays an important role in this. So we see food, it starts to swell our belly, right? And basically in our stomach, there's some things that happen. So basically what happens is we see food, it starts to secrete some enzymes, and when these enzymes secrete, basically what happens is our hydrochloric acid decreases, and pepsin, which basically breaks down our food, it basically can melt our bone and skin, basically starts to break down these things. And basically hormones and our nerves start to interplay. So basically when we put food in our stomach, it tells, hey, poop, move down. Basically the nerves and hormones tell it to move. All these things interplay together, okay? So when the food goes in the tummy, there's a bunch of things that start to happen together. So there's a bunch of different interplay. It's a chain of reactions that work together. So in the stomach, there is some pits, okay? And these pits have several cells in here, and they work together basically to secrete and work together to release this hydrochloric acid and pepsin. But the reason why I'm showing you this is not because I want to get really sciencey on you, but why I want to. Do you guys drink alcohol? Okay, so some of you come to me and go, how does alcohol affect my body, right? Does it really have an effect? Well, here we go. So, alcohol does a couple of things. Basically what it does is it increases gastrin, okay? So, gastrin, well, it increases our antibodies and it increases our unhealthy bacteria, which increases gut permeability, which goes into our bloodstream, and it increases our fatty acids in our body. So basically what that does is it increases unhealthy bacteria in our body, okay? So back to the stomach. So when our stomach finally breaks down our food, it's called chyme, and basically what happens is it needs to go into the duodenum, where this is where the magic happens, because this is digestion and this is where the absorption starts to happen. Okay? So basically when it starts to go here, basically there's some cells in here that basically tell our pancreas, our accessory organs, to kick in and secrete some enzymes to help us break down our food. Why am I telling you this? It's important because a lot of people go, I have gas problems. Does anybody have gas problems in here? Yes, sir. Right? Does anybody have any digestion problems? Okay. So this is where the magic happens. So basically this is our pancreas. And in here we have these cells. So when we start, the food goes into our duodenum where everything is absorbed. So we eat protein, carbs, and fats, right? So when our food goes in here, basically it sends a signal to our pancreas, hey, release those enzymes to help us digest our food, which are essentially baby proteins. So what happens is first of all, when it comes from the stomach, we know that I just told you that the pH balance was low. That's way too high for our body. So it basically releases some biocarbonate to basically bring our pH, because our body always needs to be at 7. So we always have this checks and balances, and it releases the digestive enzymes. It also releases stuff called CCK, or cholecystine kinase, basically that tells the gallbladder to release bile so that it can emulsify the fats or break down the fats. So basically what I'm telling you is it releases the required stuff to start breaking down our food. Do we have any questions? Am I losing you guys here?
I don't have one.
I know you don't. So we can go into why and basically how your body breaks that down, but I think we'll reserve that for a little bit later.
Okay.
So we don't get everybody confused. So basically what happens in the duodenum then is basically all of our food is absorbed into the small intestine. 90% of our absorption is done in the small intestine, and we require our enzymes to do it. After we're 30 years old, we start decreasing enzymes in our body. Okay? Some people have more, some people have less. But a lot of times when people come into my office, they are like, I don't know why I'm getting all this gas, right? There's several different kinds of enzymes. We need enzymes to break down protein. We need enzymes to break down carbohydrates and enzymes to break down fat. Basically, I can list them all, but basically these are them, okay? We also have enzymes that line our duodenum, so they work together. And then we also need vitamins. Vitamins are absorbed with fats, okay? How it's absorbed is in the next slide. So this right here is what it looks like inside of our small intestine. We got all these finger-like villi, right? So basically, the carbohydrates, fats, the fats goes into our lacteal, which is our lymph system, and goes up through our thoracic duct. Basically, our carbohydrates and proteins, they go in right here and out to our liver to cleanse. Everything goes that way because our liver is our major cleanser of our body. So, basically in a nutshell, everything goes through here. This is our duodenum, and our ileum, and then our cecum, into our cecum valve, into our colon. Our colon's job is basically to absorb water. The more water, the better. To absorb minerals, and it's a powerhouse for bacteria. Most people don't know that. It's 85% bacteria, supposed to be about 15% unhealthy bacteria, always, because we come into contact with unhealthy bacteria, and a good working colon is supposed to surround the unhealthy bacteria and flush it out. We're going to talk about what happens when it's the other way around. So, that's it for your anatomy lesson.